stay true to yourself and stay true to your values and just be kind to people. And people will come to you.
This is Don't Fear Grit with Rob Taormina. Marketing strategies and advertising technologies to help you build a better business.
Hey guys, welcome back. In this episode, we have a local expert who literally treats everyone like a pin cushion, and that's right, acupuncturist, people. And she's amazing. She has a brand new place in the area, but she's not brand new to the medical field. Welcome, Jen. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I am awesome. Honestly, I'm thrilled to have you here. Your level of an area of expertise is someone that I've actually been wanting to talk with. I'm not even going to lie, for a long time. Awesome. I've been poked and prodded in my life, and so I've got questions. But if you could do me a favor, just give some context to everyone watching and listening, who you are, what you do, and where your shop is.
Okay, so my name's Jen Muilenburg. I am a longtime nurse and nurse practitioner. I've been a nurse for just about 20 years now, and a nurse practitioner for, I think, about 12 or 13. And I'm a new acupuncturist for about a year now. And I opened my own place, Just Enjoy Life Acupuncture and Wellness Center in Stony Brook.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a really big deal. Now, all right, so right off the bat, let's talk about the stigmas associated with acupuncture and the treatment of that stuff. Number one, does it hurt a lot?
No.
It doesn't, right?
No.
Yeah.
And
it's such a ridiculous thing.
Yes, and people, like, if they don't know, I actually carry a couple of needles in my bag all the time.
Just to prove to people.
And I'm like, here, give me your hand.
Feel
this. And they're like, put the needle in. I'm like, I already did.
Right, it really doesn't hurt.
No.
And I know there's lots of benefits, and I know acupuncture is something that can treat lots of different things. But what would you say is one of the most common things that people are dealing with that acupuncture would be something that really would help?
It treats all kinds of pain. I think that's the most common ailment that I treat on a daily basis. All kinds of pain.
Gotcha.
Knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, headaches. That's probably the most common.
Yeah.
And I'd say like the most uncommon thing that it works so great for is like GI issues, like stomach issues.
Really?
Yeah. Anxiety.
You're kidding.
No, emotional issues.
Wow.
Like I love to treat people with like emotional issues, that stress, anxiety, because when they leave, it's an instant result. Yeah. They feel so much better when they walk out.
What an amazing alternative too to like just loading your body with drugs too.
Exactly.
Wow, that's incredible. All right. So what motivated you to get to transition from, you said you were a nurse, right? So you've got a lot of experience in the medical fields. What sort of, was there one sort of pivotal moment, or why did you decide, I'm going to try to venture off?
Well, ever since I started nursing school, my goal was to open my own wellness center. That was my goal from day one of nursing school. And I was working as a nurse and probably like the complete polar opposite end of the spectrum. And I started looking around. I'm like, there's got to be something I'm missing. There's got to be a piece that I need. And actually, my cousin went to massage therapy school. And I said, well, let me check out her school. And I started reading the descriptions of all the different programs. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. I found it. And I enrolled that day.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was so excited. I'm like, this is it. This is what I'm
wow,
going to do.
You didn't waste any time.
No.
Wow.
And then a month later, I found out I was pregnant with my first daughter. So it took me a little bit longer than I expected.
Okay. All right.
3 children later.
Oh my gosh. Wow. All right. So 3 children later, and now you own your own place. I mean, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I love what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited.
Now, were you a little bit nervous? I mean, going from being a nurse, right? You were working for, was it a hospital or a doctor?
I worked in hospitals, and then I worked as a nurse practitioner. I did a lot of home visits.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So going from that to now owning your own business, that is a whole nother world by itself, because it's like being a business owner someone who's in the medical field, it's like, all right, I'm not just going to be able to help more people. Now I got to understand everything that comes with owning a business.
Right.
What was that transition like for you?
A little crazy.
Yeah.
That's honest, a little crazy.
Yeah.
I really didn't know.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about it. And I just was calling and talking and reading and trying to figure it out and, you know, kind of winging it. And so far, so good.
Yeah. I love your story because your story was there was an opportunity and you literally seized the moment.
I did.
And if you didn't seize the moment, maybe that opportunity would have never presented itself again.
Right.
So you had no choice, but it was like crash course time.
It was.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I did it in, I was working for another acupuncturist, and I had only been there a couple of weeks. And she went on vacation and asked me to cover for her. And right before her vacation, we switched offices from one building to the next. And she didn't turn the lights on, and we couldn't see any patients while she was away. And she came home and said, "We're closed. Sorry."
Oh my gosh.
And
oh my gosh.
You know, my intention was to take over from her in like a year and a half to 2 years.
Transition a normal amount of time.
Exactly. And I slept on it one night after she told me she was closed.
Yeah.
And I said, well, since it was always my intention to take over.
Yeah.
Why don't I just take over now?
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, you sure about that? And I said, yeah, I want to do it.
Right.
So,
before I change my mind, let me just do it.
So she said, let me speak to the landlord and make sure it's okay.
Yeah.
And he was like, great.
Yeah.
And I signed the lease she told me that on a Monday. We agreed on the Tuesday, and Friday I signed the lease.
Oh my gosh.
And then I went on vacation. And, worked from the car and from the beach and tried to get as much as I could get set up remotely. And then then it was my son's birthday, and we had a trip planned in the city, and school started for the kids. So then when they went to school, I opened my doors.
So for all those people that are like, oh, you know what, I want to open my own business, I want to start my own business, but I'm not ready, I just don't have time. Knowing your story now, what do you have to say to that?
I had no time. I still have no time. I thought I had no time before. Now I really have no time.
But you did it.
But I did it.
Right.
And
so it can be done.
I did it backwards.
Yeah.
I did.
Sure.
But it did work out.
Yeah.
And I had to find all of the little things that I needed. I kind of band-aided some things to get me through. And, you know, other things take time.
Yes.
You know, like I started as a sole proprietor because that was the easiest, quickest way that I could open the doors and have all the numbers and tax ID numbers and things like that so I could get paid.
Right.
But then I found someone and set myself up as now I'm a professional PLLC, so I'm a professional corporation.
Sure.
And now I'm legit. I feel like, you know, now I'm real. But, you know, so that's all. So I did what I could to get me to that next point. And then I still have some more, you know, things that I have to take care of.
Of course.
In that arena.
Yes.
But it's all coming along.
Nicely. That's amazing. You know, there's that famous saying that if opportunity doesn't knock, just build yourself a door. But when opportunity does knock, open the door and run in. And that's what you did.
I did. Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank
honestly.
you.
Like, I'm very proud of your story. Like, it's really, really cool. I like hearing that because I think people have a lot of hesitancies as entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. Like, I think a lot of people have these dreams. I want to open up this shop. Like, this is a dream of mine. And I think there's a lot of fear that prevents them from trying. You know, and clearly you didn't let fear like at all govern your decision.
No, I couldn't. I just had to move at warp speed.
Yeah.
Because if I stopped to think about actually what I was doing and the risks that I was taking, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
You know, and I just said, well, all right, I'm
Yeah,
all
yeah.
in.
Right,
you know,
right.
2 feet in the deep
Yeah,
end,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the way it goes.
Yeah, and you're not saying that you were like necessarily irresponsible about it, because
No.
you're someone like clearly you were already pursuing becoming an acupuncturist, right?
Yeah.
You were already working with someone, so you were really familiar. You were getting familiar with it. You already had plans to eventually take over, right? So there was responsibility. It just what happened made you expedite the process.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
like I had done like some of the things beforehand. Like I had a tax ID number
Yes.
already.
Okay.
I had, like, we require an NPI number. I had that already.
Gotcha.
So those things I already had in place. I had already built my own website.
Oh, okay.
Earlier.
Oh, wow.
So that was all done. I just had to change some addresses and names and numbers. So like the foundation, the initial building blocks, I had already done prior to all this. Just in preparation because I knew it took time. So I said, oh, well, I don't have anything going on right now. I'll take care of this paperwork, you know.
Yeah.
And good thing I did.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, all right. So starting a business is exciting. It makes people a little bit nervous. But now let's go to that day where you did it, right? You pulled the trigger. It's yours. You signed the lease. It's day one now. You get back from vacation from the city. Kids are in school, right? That moment where you open up your doors and you see your very first patient, what was that like?
It was actually quite funny.
Okay. Sticking people with nut needles are funny.
That part of it went fine. That was okay. But she came in, and I know this person. She is a friend of mine. She's a neighbor of mine. Okay. And our kids go to school together. Yes. And she's like, oh, she saw me at the preschool in the morning, and she's like, I have the day off. Why don't I come see you today?
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, okay. And I'm like, well, I wasn't really planning on it, but sure, come on in. Yeah. I'm like, how's 11 o'clock? So she comes in.
Oh my gosh.
And her treatment goes fine. There's no issues, no problems. But she goes to pay me. And she hands me a credit card. And I'm like, I can't take this. And she's like, Jen, this is a business. I know we're friends, but you have to take my money. Yeah. I said, no, you don't understand. I don't have a credit card machine. I said, I cannot take this. Yeah. So she laughed at me, and she's funny. Like, all right, I'll get you next time. And she did. But I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. You know. So, but I'm assuming you can take credit cards now.
Now I take credit cards.
Okay. Yes. You've handled the plastic portion of it.
The plastic part is all set. I take credit cards, cash,
amazing.
Whatever. Yeah.
That's incredible. Are there any other like forms of payment, or how do people like? Do people need to get a referral from their doctor to see you? How does that work?
Not necessarily. Okay. I do take insurance. Okay. And I take insurance. I bill as an out-of-network provider. Got it. So, generally what people will do is they give me their insurance information. I call the insurance company. I verify their coverage. I let them know what they have. Mm-hmm. And then I give them a call back and I say, well, some people have 100% coverage, which is great. Wow. And some people pay 80%, and the insurance will pay 80 and they pay 20. Okay. So you just have to see where they are. And then because it's out of network, people usually have a deductible that they have to meet for the year. Yep. So if they haven't met that deductible, I spend it down. So considering that I started in like September, it didn't make any sense to start spending down their deductibles. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because they have to do it again in 3 months anyway. Right. So those people, luckily for me, we worked out a nice deal. Yeah. I gave them an introductory package price, and they paid cash. And then that January is coming soon, they're still with me. Yeah. And we'll just use their insurance, and then they pay a little bit less. Great. It was a win-win for everybody.
Amazing. Yeah. So what are some of the top ways right now that you're finding new patients? I
do a lot of social media.
Oh, okay.
So Facebook and Instagram are pretty much my two main platforms. Okay. And Google, obviously. Yeah, sure. I have my Google business page, and I just teamed up with a company, and I'm working with them. They're redoing my website completely. Wow. My website was pretty, but Google didn't like it. Yep. It wasn't very compatible with Google. So they're redoing my whole website for me. Okay. And they've they're doing like all my SEO, my pay-per-clicks, all those kinds of things. So I'm doing a big internet campaign.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm generating a lot of reviews from all my clients that come in.
Yep.
I send them a text, I send them an email,
Yeah.
and then they write my reviews. They go posted right to my Google business page, to my Facebook page. So now my reviews are going, and just the amount, because you can, obviously, but you can see your insights on it. And where I was getting, maybe a couple of views per day, now I'm like, triple that, quadruple that. And I haven't even started with the new website or anything like that yet.
Right.
So I
That's
just
awesome.
did the Google stuff,
Yeah.
and a lot of word of mouth.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of word of mouth.
Sure. That's the biggest part about it.
And so, like, I treat you, I fixed your back, and then you tell your friend, oh, you got to see this girl, and I have one of my clients, I call her my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
She tells everybody she was a CrossFitter.
Oh, okay.
And she couldn't do it because she had such bad sciatic pain. And in 7 treatments, I treated her, and she's now back to squatting, like 160 pounds.
Oh, my gosh.
And having no problems.
Right.
So she's like, I can't believe what you did. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So she told her friend, and now I got half the preschool coming
You
to me.
saved her.
Yeah.
Of course.
So it works.
It works. That's why you're doing it, because you really believe in it.
I do. It saved my life. God's honest truth. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Tell that story.
Oh, okay.
I want to know.
Okay.
You can't lead with, it saved my life, and then just expect me to move on. I want to know.
It did. I was very sick.
Okay.
I got really, really sick about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I was in the hospital for like 8 weeks.
Wow.
And nobody knew what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
I had top docs from all over the country trying to figure out what was going on. And turns out I had this like ultra rare disease that I was like one of 3 people in the world to have.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And what it was my lungs were completely covered in uterine fibroids.
Oh my gosh.
And I couldn't breathe. So, I had multiple surgeries. I had lung surgery. I had to have like a hysterectomy. I had to have all this stuff. And I was oxygen dependent. And I did everything that they asked for, everything they wanted to do from a Western standpoint.
Sure.
And I was, in the city hospitals. I was at Columbia. I was at Cornell.
Wow.
So they were great places to be. And my teacher at school said, I'm going to fix you. And because I was still I had to postpone my graduation because I was sick.
Yes, yeah.
So when I went back to school still on oxygen.
Okay.
And my teacher said, I'm going to treat you. And he did. And I would go 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And he would put over 100 needles in me every single time.
Oh my gosh.
And in 3 months' time, I was able to come off the oxygen. And in 6 months' time, like I needed a double lung transplant. And
oh my
in 6 months' time, I don't need a transplant anymore. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm, and because he saved me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing story.
So I believe in it. I live it.
Wow. No wonder you do this. No wonder you were all in. No wonder it was like, all right, you're shutting down. I'll take over.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like I truly, absolutely love what I do. I believe in it.
Yeah.
But I also have that Western background.
Sure.
And I know when I get to a point with somebody.
Yeah.
There's not much more here I can do. Acupuncture is not for you.
Yeah.
You know, like you need to see somebody to get this taken care of.
I actually think that gives you a leg up, and I think you're going to do marvelous because of that, because you really are coming at it from both sides. Mm-hmm. You really have experience and knowledge and education from both sides, which I think is pretty unusual. So that's amazing. Good for you.
Thank you.
Everyone should go to you.
I think so.
Wow. I mean, because you're someone who literally used it. It healed you. Mm-hmm. You're someone who understands both sides of medicine. That's incredible. I think people would really benefit from even just talking with you.
Yeah,
That's
I
amazing.
love to talk. So.
Yeah. So if people like had a question about acupuncture, whether it's, they're nervous, they have reservations, or they don't know if what they're dealing with could be treated with acupuncture, how could they get a hold of you? Like, how can they ask a question?
You can always call me.
Yeah.
They can call me. They can visit my website. They can email me. I'm pretty accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what does that process look like? Let's say it's someone that either has tried other treatments that haven't worked, or they haven't tried anything, and someone is like pushing them, you got to try acupuncture. What does that process look like for them from the moment they call you to that moment where it's like, oh my God, I'm actually better?
So the first initial step, is pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Or send an email or a text or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll check your insurance, see if there's coverage, because if you have coverage, might as well take advantage of it.
You'll do that for them?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then figure out whether there's insurance or not,
Mm-hmm.
and then hopefully there is, and if not, then I'm pretty affordable compared to others in the area.
Yeah.
And they come in for their first visit. The first visit is about an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I do a pretty thorough health history.
Okay.
Ask a lot of questions that to you may not make sense why
Sure.
I'm asking it,
Yeah.
but for me, it's a diagnostic standpoint. And I check their tongue. I look at their tongue. That's like a vital sign I like to compare it to. It's like checking your blood pressure at the doctor's office.
Okay.
And check their tongue, check their pulse, have them get undressed into a gown, get them on the table. I do a fairly light treatment to start off with because we don't know how you're going to take to it.
Yep.
And then usually I have people come once or twice a week.
Okay.
And a general course of treatment is 10 sessions.
Okay.
For most ailments,
whatever they'll start seeing results after about that time. I got it.
You should start, you should feel some result initially after your first visit.
What, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then depending on what you're coming in for, but for most things you should see some relief.
Okay.
Whether it's a couple hours or a day.
Yeah.
It may not be a full week.
Yeah.
But it may be a little bit. And then, once you start hitting like that 7th or 8th visit, you should start really feeling, a significant change from the first time you've come in.
Okay.
And then once we get to the 10th, I do a reevaluation and I look at everything from the first visit to the visit we're at now.
Yeah.
And then compare the two.
Okay.
And go through the list with you and say, well, you came in, you were sleeping 4 hours a night and were not well rested. You're now sleeping 8 hours a night and not waking up at all. So that's an improvement. You came in when you were very angry and frustrated, and now you're calm and cool as a cucumber.
Right.
You had your back pain was at a 10 out of 10 and couldn't walk.
Right.
Now you're walking erect.
Right.
And your pain is at like a 2.
Yeah.
So it's not completely gone, but you've made significant strides. Or I'll say, we haven't really made good progress in this area.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that you either do a few more treatments or maybe seek something else at this point. I'm not in it to say make you come for extra visits when you don't need it.
Right.
If I can't do it, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was let's go back to your business,
Yeah.
the whole starting a business thing, and what would you say is the biggest surprise about starting your own business?
The amount of time. The amount of time.
Yeah.
I could be there 15 hours a day and still not be done.
Right. People who are working a 9 to 5 is working a lot less than us, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The amount of time that it takes to put into everything. And I just actually interviewed 2 people this morning.
Oh, okay.
One for a receptionist and one for a massage therapist.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing most of it all myself.
Okay.
I do have one assistant who's there part-time now.
Okay.
But I had to bring her on. I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't possibly
Right.
do the marketing, the advertising, the changing of the
No.
beds, the laundry, treating patients,
Yes.
answering the phones,
Yeah.
scheduling appointments.
Yep.
I just could not
Yeah.
do it all
And
myself.
I was taught this by my father-in-law years ago. Owning a business, there's 3 primary roles, and then there's roles underneath all of them. He was like, you in life, in business, you can only ever do 2 at the max. Ideally, you only want to do 1. You can never do 3. He's like, the second you have to do 3, you'll fail. And the 3 roles are marketing the business, working the business, and managing the business. He was like, it's impossible to do all 3. Impossible.
Yeah.
You can only pick max 2 and try to narrow it down to 1.
Yeah.
And I always listen to that. And I always like go back to that advice, and it's so true. Even like when we're working with our clients, and we do some biz development stuff as well with some clients and help them out. And when I do a business audit, I realize I'm like, wow, this one person is literally trying to do it all, and they're going to burn themselves out. They're going to burn this business out. And we try to help them realize you can't be the marketer, the manager, and the worker.
No,
you can't.
it's impossible.
Yeah.
And that's some really good sound advice.
Yeah, which someone told you that earlier, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I found that out real quick.
You run it the hard way.
Yeah.
But the good thing about you is that, necessity is the mother of invention. Smart people, though, they go through something, they figure out ways not to do it, and they fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And you seem like the type of person where you don't waste time.
I don't have time to wait.
There you go. That's so true. We have no time to waste.
Right.
Incredible. So, all right. So I'm going to ask some questions that are absolutely not even related.
Okay.
Right? So what is a book that you have read? It could be anything from a serious medical book to Dr. Seuss.
Well, considering I'm in a book club.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I
I'm
didn't
in
know
book
that.
club. Yeah, I'm in book club.
Oh, all right.
I
all
love
right.
my book club. We have T-shirts made and
Come
everything.
on.
I swear. It's fun.
My wife is like an obsessive avid reader. She's
really?
always reading. She blows through like book sets and everything. She just loves reading.
Yeah, I do a lot of audiobooks.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
Because I'm in the car
Oh, it's
and I
easier.
listen to them.
Yeah.
But the last book that I read
Yeah.
was, I don't know, The Power of Persuasion.
Okay.
And then before that, what did we read for book club? We read The Hate You Give. We
Okay.
read The Crawdads When the Crawdads Sing.
Uh-huh.
We just read this murder mystery book,
Okay.
Blindsided,
Oh, okay.
by Karen Slaughter.
I gotcha.
And that was really good.
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent. So good recommendations.
Yeah, I try to alternate them.
Yeah.
Do like one book club read and
Sure.
then like one business read.
Gotcha. All right. Smart. Smart. Get a little bit of everything. And for everyone that's listening, give one piece of advice. Any advice that you want to offer. It could be based on your experience in any field that you've been in, based on some of the mistakes you made, or based on some of the successes you've made. What's one piece of advice that you can give fellow entrepreneurs?
Oh, I can think of so many. The best piece I can say is stay true to yourself and stay true to your values and just be kind to people and people will come to you.
That seems like great life lesson.
Yeah.
That's true for business, for family, for friends, how to
Yeah.
treat strangers. That's just like good advice.
Yeah.
So you should put that on a t-shirt.
There's $1 million idea
There,
right
there it is. All right. So for anyone that wants to find you locally because they want to, learn more and they want to try to break through their fear barrier and try acupuncture, where can they find you? Who should they call? Give them everything.
All right. So my name is Jen Muilenburg. I am at Just Enjoy Life Acupuncture and Wellness Center. We're located at 2500 Route 347, Ornisconset Highway, Building 6, Unit D. D as in David, not 6D, 60 like the number.
Okay.
In Stony Brook. And our number there is 631-675-1895. My website is www.justenjoylifeacupuncture.com.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, guys. If anyone is experiencing any type of pain,
Yeah.
if you are have anxiety,
Yeah.
or how about this? If you have anything going on,
Anything.
I have a feeling that you can probably help them.
Skin issues.
Skin issues.
Yeah, like psoriasis.
Allergies.
Allergies.
So how about this?
Infertility?
If you breathe air, I recommend that you call her, because I have a feeling that you probably would be open just to even having a phone call and just having a conversation on the phone, and you can really help them.
Absolutely.
So if you breathe air, call her. I'm sure she's going to be able to help you breathe even cleaner air. But she's an expert in what she does. She opened up an amazing brand new business, and the reason why she's going to be so good at what she does is because you work hard. And I appreciate that. I respect you. I respect what you do as well.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, guys.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to Don't Fear Grit. Remember, don't fear the process and don't fear grit. Take care, guys.